Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today I am in the Nexon Europe offices in Germany, Berlin, and today I'm going to be doing an interview, one of three, starting off with T-Bird here, who is the Creative Studio Manager here at Nexon Europe, and we're going to be asking a few questions. Now, starting off with the key art and the new logo. The new Combat Arms logo was unveiled in the hashtag makeCAgreatagain video with a clear modern influence. Now, what perception of Combat Arms does Nexon want when players first see this new logo?
So that new logo actually came after a long brainstorming session. Basically, we listed off all the things that we like in Combat Arms and try to combine them and give a good shape for them.
So another piece of key art is a massive assortment of weapons. And is Combat Arms' large array of weapons still a big highlight point in your opinion? And can you go through the process of this really important photo?
The amount of weapons that we have in Combat Arms has always been very important to us because this is one of the main features of the game. It's basically that mercenary dude picking up in his arsenal the weapons that he's going to take with him in combat. You probably noticed different Easter egg in the picture. We really want to keep what were the core features of the game.
Now, on top of this, there are many pieces of key art that depict action on the battlefield, which is obviously a really big part of Combat Arms, as you can see on the screen right now. Now, many of these are action pieces with massive explosions in the spotlight. Was there any specific inspiration behind these images at all?
Among the different key arts that have been produced for the new Combat Arms, this one here is based on Orig, which is a fan-made map. It seemed very important to us to actually pay respect to the player without whom we wouldn't be there.
Now we're going to be moving on to the new user interface. As you can see on the screen right now, it is all in its glory, and it is very different to the user interface we have right now. From the first iteration, the army field, now we have the grey modern field, but this is very different. And here we have NX Cody, the legend himself, to go and explain all of it for us. And let's go and start out with the real direction of the user interface. Why have you gone with this type of feel, and what's the real key ideas around it?
As you can see, we're trying to go for the colors that are also represented in the logo. So you can tell that we're keeping the theme relatively dark, but we're going with really nice orange highlights. And the whole thing, as you can tell, compared to the interface that we have right now, is really, it's big, it's right there, it's very accessible visually as well. And that's something that was really important to us. So the core difference, if I had to describe it, is accessibility, maybe, but also it's a lot more modern than what we have right now. And those were like the two really important points to us.
New Combat Arms players often feel very daunted when they first go and log into the game and try and even just hop in. Like, you have to go through so many menus, so many channels and whatnot. How will this new user interface really go and cater to the less experienced players of this game? How will it really go and just get right into the action?
Well, I've got a little anecdote for you there, actually. We had a colleague join about a year ago, and he asked me, how can I get into the game? And I showed him, this is where you download it. So far, fair enough, he downloaded it, he launched it. And then I saw him struggle with the interface for about 5 minutes. So there was a point where we were honest with ourselves and said, okay, we need to really trim this down and make it accessible. And I think that's what we really achieved here. So essentially, where right now, when you launch the game, you'll have to pick a server, you'll have to pick a channel, you'll have to pick a match, go through all these options. What you can do now is you can get in game with 2 clicks. And this is, in my opinion, a major improvement compared to what we had before. And of course, it'll make it a lot easier for everyone, but especially for players seeing the game for the first time who are not used to all the customization options that we have. It's really handy. So I think that'll really be the biggest improvement for them.
Now, as we've said many times, Combat Arms, it's a very old game. However, it's got a lot of experienced players, and these players have a ton of weapons in their inventories, hundreds upon hundreds of permanent weapons or otherwise. How will these players be able to go and organize and really find what weapon they want to get right into the game and play with, let's say, an M4A1 SOT mod? How can they go and find that in this new update?
the game's called Combat Arms for a reason, and that's because a lot of players have a lot of weapons, and we have a lot of weapons in game. So we're aware of the fact that people have a lot of stuff in their inventories, and of course we want to make it easy for them to find what they need. So we'll of course offer really nice filters. Now in case of, instead of what you have right now with the drop-down menu, we have a really nice menu with where you can tick a box of what you would like to see in your inventory, and you'll immediately be shown the weapons and items that fit that category. So it's very easy to find what you'd like to find. So we want people to be able to equip what they want to equip instead of having to fight with the UI. That's essentially it, because we know that you want to play, you don't want to play an inventory management game, you want to play a shooter, and that's what this is there to support.
But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes.
And NX Coyote.
All the way from Berlin, Germany in the Next in Europe offices. Out.